Hello and welcome to another episode of The Naked Turner. Today I'm going to be turning a large chunk of redwood that I happened to get from a project that I was working on. Alright, so here's this chunk of redwood. It's a pretty good size, as you can see. It's probably about, about 18 inches across and about 36 inches tall. I'm going to be trying to get a chunk out of it. There are a lot of splits and checks in the end, so I'll get rid of some of that. And even though this is a big chunk, there's a lot of sapwood that I'll be having to get rid of, so the bowl will end up being relatively small. Alright, so I got it mounted up on my faceplate. This piece is a 19-inch round blank, and it's about 8 inches deep, but as you can see, I've got a lot of this sapwood on this, so I'll be turning it down quite a bit. Sorry about the lighting, but just what it is. I got this spinning right now around 250 RPM. Everything's locked off, and I'm going to start roughing with my roughing guide. I've got my air shield air hood on today because redwood can be pretty bad on your lungs, so wear your safety equipment. As you can see, there's going to be quite a bit of roughing going on here, so I'll check back in once I have some of the wobble out of this. So this is not any old growth redwood. This is a fairly young tree, so we'll see what ends up happening. This is a wet piece, and I'm going to turn it to a fairly close to finished size, and in hopes of it kind of warping out a little bit but not splitting. Safety gear on. Okay, now I'm turning up around 500. Alright, I'm turning away that thick layer of sapwood that you can see. I'm just about past right now. Now I just need to sculpt the rest of this in to get rid of as much of that sapwood as possible. And as you can see, it's going to be a relatively small bowl. So when you're starting out with a giant chunk of wood like this, you might end up with a pretty small bowl. Okay, I'm going to round this outside edge. Okay, so I'm getting down there, and let's see, we went from 19 down to 14. So the sap wood was about 2.5 inches on each edge. Let me move my tool rest in a little more. Alright, just a little bit more. Get rid of those last few little pieces out here. Alright, this is a little knot right here, another one there, but now what I'm going to do is make a mortise in the bottom of this for my scrolling jaw chop. Once again, sorry about the lighting here, but I'm out in the sun and the shade, can't do much about it. Make sure this is real crisp down here in the bottom corner and that it's deep enough to get a full seating on my jaws all the way up to the base. So I'll come back later and remove the bottom. There we go. That should be good. I think that'll work. Yeah, that should be good. Alright, so I'm going to do a little bit of sanding on this, but because it's so wet, most of the sanding won't take place until I've hollowed out the inside and spun most of the water and then dried it with some denatured alcohol to help expedite the removal of the water. Alright, so here's what I got so far. For some reason my phone shut down. I think it overheated. But anyway, I've got it down to this point. I just did a little torching on the inside, very subtly, just to sort of dry it out a little. You can see, you can see the moisture in this piece, in these locations. I'm going to spin it for a while to spin dry it, which you can see the moisture coming out down here on my lathe bed. That's from the water leaving this outer edge, so everything's kind of moving to that outer edge and then spraying down here. And I'm going to do some sanding, and then I'll check back in with you. Alright, so with this one, I'm just putting on some Howard Butcher Block conditioner. Howard Butcher Block conditioner. Nothing else. Just because I want this to be a nice food grade salad bowl that just has oil on it, no shellacs. It does have wax in this product, so it'll be oil and waxes. And I'm just doing the inside right now, allowing a little more of the moisture to wick out of the back side. So I'm going to kind of drive it out the back. I'll do some spin cycles and a little sanding and get rid of some of the moisture. It's just about completely gone at this point. Oh, I did an alcohol bath on this and then torched it in order to burn that alcohol off. I did one treatment of that, and it seemed to take a lot of the moisture out because it already had I had already spun and sanded a lot of the moisture out of this piece. So it's looking real good. It's got a tiny little bit of warp, and it'll probably continue to warp as it completely dries. But this piece is just about ready for me to turn around and stick in my coal jaws and finish off the backside. So this will be like a rustic salad bowl or dough bowl. Alright, I'm applying some Yorkshire grit up the end of my Yorkshire grit. So this Redwood bowl will do a little bit of Yorkshire grit buffing on it, and then I'll apply some more of the butcher block conditioner. Okay, so I've got my bowl flipped around in my Longworth chuck here, and all I'm going to do is nibble away that foot, flatten off the bottom, and do a little bit of sanding, and then this bowl will be done. And I'll show you the finished result. I'm running at 500 and 580. I'll just remove the last little bit of that, sand it down, and then show you the finished product. So here it is, the finished piece. Thanks for watching another episode of The Naked Turner. As you can see, got a nice piece of finish on the bottom. Looks like a set of eyes. And hopefully this will continue drying out. I'll apply a couple more coats of oil to it as it slowly dries. But at this point I think it's going to remain relatively stable, other than maybe the knots might move around a little bit. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you really liked it, share it, and please make a comment. If you're a subscriber, thanks for your continued support, and if you're not a subscriber, click the subscribe button and become a subscriber. I'm posting new content all the time.